It wasn't supposed to end like this. For 3 years, we were told the door was shut. We were told the PGA Tour was a fortress, and the players who took the Saudi millions were mercenaries erased from history. But on the morning of January 12, 2026, the fortress didn't just open its gates. It sent out a private jet for 4 specific men. The memo that hit player inboxes this morning is called the Returning Member Program. But let's call it what it really is, a rescue mission. This isn't an amnesty. It isn't a peace treaty. It is a calculated, brutal, financial ultimatum designed to break LIV Golf by stripping away its crown jewels. One man has already taken the bait. Brooks Koepka, the 5-time major champion, has reportedly terminated his contract with LIV Golf effective immediately. He is coming home, but he's coming home $100 million poorer. Why would he do it? What is written in the fine print of this secret agreement that makes a 9-figure loss worth it? And most importantly, what does this mean for Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Smith, who now have less than 3 weeks to decide if they want to save their legacy or keep their cash? Buckle up. We are about to look at the most expensive contract in the history of sports and the dirty little secret behind why the PGA Tour finally blinked. To understand the magnitude of what happened today, you have to look at the timing. We are days away from the 2026 season kicking into high gear. The rosters were set. The legal battles were deadlocked. But the PGA Tour dropped this program with the precision of a drone strike. The Returning Member Program is a temporary, emergency pathway. It is not a new rule. It is a one-time exemption window that opened this morning and slams shut on February 2nd. That is a strict take-it-or-leave-it offer. But the eligibility criteria are so specific they might as well have put names on the document. To be eligible, a player must have been suspended for unauthorized tournament play for at least 2 years. That covers most of the LIV roster. But then comes the filter. The player must have won a major championship or the Players' Championship between 2022 and 2025. That single sentence wipes out 99% of the defectors. Phil Mickelson, his major was in 2021. He's out. Dustin Johnson, 2020. He's out. Sergio Garcia, Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, the guys who started this rebellion, are left in the cold. Even the younger stars like Tyler Gooch are ineligible. The tour has effectively said, "We don't want the rebels back, we only want the kings." By drawing these lines, they have isolated exactly 4 players: Brooks Koepka, Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Smith. This is a masterclass in leverage. The tour isn't building a bridge to LIV. They are throwing a rope ladder down to the VIP section and pulling it up before anyone else can grab it. Now let's follow the money, because this is Fairway Fortunes, and the numbers here are staggering. When the headlines first broke, the media focused on the charitable donation. The tour is requiring returning players to pay a $5 million cash fee to a charity of the tour's choosing. To normal people, that's a fortune. To guys who signed 9-figure deals, it's a speeding ticket. If that was the only penalty, everyone would have signed up by lunch. But the $5 million is a decoy. The real punishment is hidden in the Equity Forfeiture Clause. Since the creation of PGA Tour Enterprises in 2024, the players are equity holders. They own a piece of the business. The top stars have been granted shares designed to make them partners in the league's success. Under the terms of this new program, any returning LIV player is ineligible for equity grants for 5 years. Financial analysts estimate that for a top-tier player like Rahm or Koepka, the value of those lost grants is between $50 million and $90 million. Add in the fact that they are ineligible for FedEx Cup bonus money for the entire 2026 season, and the total cost of returning is likely north of $100 million. They are essentially paying back their LIV sign-on bonus to buy back their legacy. It is the most expensive membership fee in sports history, and Brooks Koepka looked at that number and said, "Deal." We knew Brooks Koepka was unhappy. The rumors of his regret have been the worst-kept secret in golf for 18 months. He missed the edge. He missed the feeling of stepping onto a range where 140 guys were trying to take his job. The guaranteed money and the no-cut events dulled his blade. And for a guy whose identity is built on being the major slayer, feeling dull is worse than being broke. In December 2025, sources say Koepka approached the PGA Tour quietly. He was ready to breach his LIV contract. This is a massive legal risk. We don't know the exact terms of his exit from LIV, but you can bet the Saudis didn't just wave goodbye. He is likely paying a termination fee to get out of his contract there too. So Brooks is getting hit from both sides. He's paying LIV to leave, and he's paying the PGA Tour to return. The fact that he is willing to incinerate this much cash tells you everything you need to know about the state of LIV Golf. It suggests that maybe the future of golf isn't as bright as the press releases claim. He is scheduled to play at the Farmers Insurance Open in just 2 weeks. Just imagine that scene. He's going from the shotgun starts to the brutal grind of Torrey Pines, and he's doing it with a target on his back. The locker room he is walking into isn't the same one he left. There is resentment, there is jealousy, and now there is the knowledge that Brooks paid a 9-figure ransom just to stand next to them on the range again. While Brooks clears out his locker, the spotlight shifts violently to the 3 men left in the cold: Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Smith. They have until February 2nd. The clock is ticking loud. The PGA Tour has explicitly stated this is a one-time offer. If they don't apply by that Monday deadline, the window closes forever. Let's break down their situations. First, Bryson DeChambeau. He is the wild card. Bryson has spent the last 2 years building a massive independent media empire. His YouTube channel is bigger than the golf channel. Does he even need the PGA Tour? Financially, probably not. But Bryson cares about history. He wants his statue built. Can he swallow his pride, pay the fine, and admit the move was a mistake? Then there is Cameron Smith, the quiet Australian. He left for the schedule. He wanted to fish more and stress less. If he returns to the PGA Tour, he returns to the grind. But Cam is a competitor. Does he want to spend his prime years putting for fun or putting for history? And finally, Jon Rahm. This is the most complicated case. Rahm signed late for a number that shattered records. His contract likely has years left on it. The penalties for him to break his LIV deal might be astronomical, far higher than Koepka's. Rahm might want to come back, but he might be trapped in a golden cage of his own making. If he leaves, he admits failure. If he stays, he risks irrelevance. You have to ask yourself, why now? Why did the PGA Tour suddenly decide to let these specific guys back in? It's not forgiveness, it's warfare. By stripping LIV of its only active major champions, the PGA Tour is executing a Trojan horse strategy. If Koepka, Rahm, and Bryson all leave, what is LIV left with? They have a roster of aging legends who can't compete anymore, and a bunch of mid-tier guys who nobody watches. Without the Elite Four, LIV loses its claim to being a Premier League. It instantly becomes a retirement home. The official world golf ranking points, which LIV has fought so hard to get, become even harder to justify. Sponsors will flee. TV ratings will tank. The PGA Tour is willing to swallow their pride and let the traitors back in because they know it is the death blow to the competition. But there is a risk. If Koepka comes back and dominates, if he wins at Torrey Pines, if he wins the Masters, it makes the loyal PGA Tour players look weak. It proves that the mercenary path was the right one. It proves that you could leave, take the money, come back, pay the fine, and still be the alpha dog. The tour is betting that the $100 million penalty is high enough to deter future defectors. But they are gambling with the morale of every player who stayed loyal for free. What does Rory McIlroy think about this? He turned down the money to protect the shield, and now the guys who stabbed the shield are being welcomed back with a heavy fine but a warm embrace. Let's get into the weeds of how this actually works, because the Fairway Fortunes audience knows the devil is in the details. This isn't just about writing a check. The returning member program involves a humiliating probationary period. For the entire 2026 season, these returning players will be under a microscope. They are subject to increased media obligations. Essentially, they have to do the press conferences they hated doing before. They have to commit to playing in at least 20 events, a significant increase from the 14-event schedule of LIV. And there is the sponsor restitution clause. This is the part that really stings. The tour is requiring these players to participate in pro-ams and sponsor dinners for free. Usually, a guy like Bryson gets paid 6 figures just to show up to a dinner. Now he has to do it as community service. They are effectively being forced to work off their debt to the ecosystem. It's meant to be humiliating. The PGA Tour wants the visual of Brooks Koepka shaking hands with sponsors he abandoned, smiling and eating rubber chicken at a banquet, doing his time. But again, Brooks signed it. He realized that being a humiliated king on the PGA Tour is better than being a rich emperor of nothing. We are witnessing a high-stakes poker game where the buy-in is your legacy and the blind is $100 million. Brooks Koepka has pushed his chips to the center of the table. He looked at the LIV experiment, saw the cracks in the foundation, and decided to eject before the crash. He's betting that history will remember the trophies he wins next, not the fines he paid today. Now the world waits for Rahm, DeChambeau, and Smith to show their cards. Will they fold and stay with the guaranteed cash? Or will they pay the price to play with the best? One thing is certain. Come February 3rd, the landscape of professional golf will be permanently scarred by who walked through that door and who stayed behind. The Civil War isn't over, but the first peace treaty just turned out to be a bill of sale. And for Brooks Koepka, the receipt is already printed. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear. In the game of Fairway Fortunes, the house always wins.